us.
Hey everybody, Dan here from Sherp ATV. We are in Holcombe, Wisconsin, doing some ice fishing right now. Actually brought a generator out here. Again, the batteries aren't that good, so it's been all charged up. The Sherp is running. So what I'm going to do right now is fill up the tires, and we'll just drive it off the trailer here quick before we get up on the lake. Even though the tippets are already in. So again, you use the exhaust of the engine to fill up those tires. I'm assuming you can't hear that, but there's an annoying buzzer that's going on right now. And if you kind of look at the tires, you can see them right now filling up. So I'm giving it more gas again to get more exhaust flow to make the tires fill up faster. This is kind of a little scary, honestly. Whoa, that was a bad one. That's all there's to it.
So we got our first flag. We got 2 flags going right now. Another one just popped up. Pretty cool. Know if you're going to be able to see that or not. Not sure if the first flag got caught on the second flag. We will see. Oh, she's going out again. What was it, you know?
Northern. It's northern. I haven't seen it. I've seen it twice.
Big one?
Decent. Right home about.
Think it's a world record? Oh, geez, a huge one.
Oh, man!
Oh. Huge one.
Oh, man!
Can't be fishing all the time. Had to play with the Sherp and have a little bit of fun. Not a lot of snow on the ice, and it was fairly slippery, so you could really do donuts. So Rand, Isaac, and I decided to take the Sherp and find a new fishing spot. We were initially by the cabin, but we went to a couple of other places. The Sherp is running fairly well. I've got about 350 hours on it. The only issue that I have is the batteries. I need to get some new batteries. They are a pain in the ass to try to get to and replace. I don't know if anybody out there would happen to know the size and where you could get them in the U.S. If you would, I would love it if you could throw something down there in the comments. It would be greatly appreciated.
Did you see what we're doing?
Yeah.
We can let a little air out of the tires.
Again, the reason that you let air out of the tires in the Sherp is the tires become more flexible, which provides you with suspension. As you can see, it is fairly bumpy in this area.
Oh, this just puts a smile on my...
On the middle of the lake, I would guess that there was probably 18 inches of ice. In this sections that we've been traveling on the river here, where ice is broken up, the water is probably only about 6 inches deep, maybe. What was kind of interesting is those tires, even if only half of the tire was actually on the ice where the water was at, it would still float enough, shall we say, where it wouldn't break off the ice. It was actually really a challenge to break it. It was an absolute beautiful day. It was a little bit windy later in the afternoon, but that sun really warmed things up. It just puts a smile on my face to be in situations like this. There is no other vehicle that I'm aware of that can do this as smoothly and efficiently as this vehicle. And the other thing is, it just gives you confidence because you know that you basically can get out of almost any situation. Absolutely incredible. This trip reminded me of the time when I went with John Bowie on the Yellow River located by Cadott, Wisconsin, where we basically busted up about 10 miles of a river in the spring. Had an absolute blast. I will put a link to that video in the bottom of the description. If you get a kick out of this type of situation, that was something. Take a look at it. I would guess throughout the weekend that we probably traveled almost 10 miles on the Sherp, which to me is quite a bit. It's a good time.
So imagine that if I did that with the whole river and all that ice is coming at us.
When we stopped to tape the Sherp riding around in this area, I was fairly confident that what I was going to be able to do is to bust off some chunks of ice, hopefully kind of get it to float down the river a little bit, create a little bit of dam, but I could not do it. The ice was just too thick. Right next to that open water, the ice is probably 2 or 3 inches thick, and 2 inches of ice can handle the Sherp, so I really couldn't bust through it. I did try to do some donuts and stuff to break it off, but it just wouldn't really work. But as you're going to see here coming up, I was able to do some other things with the Sherp that I truly enjoy. That is coming up here in just a little bit. I've said this before too, but as you notice right now, that front driver's window is open. Well, why is that? It's cold outside, all the cold air is blowing in? Well, yes, that is true, but again, in the winter, you change the direction of the fan that cools the engine, so it actually creates positive pressure inside of the cab, so it blows air out that is warm, so the air doesn't blow into the actual cabin. It's blowing out, even if there's wind blowing in. It works fairly well. But as you're going to see here, I go and I shut that window. That isn't necessarily because of heat, but that's because of what's coming. I love busting things like that. You notice there on the left-hand side of the Sherp, there's that one chunk of ice that's up in the air. I love coming over and whacking those over, as you're going to see in just a second. It's just so effortless to go across this terrain. There's that chunk of ice. Bloop, down it goes. Very, very, very smooth. And here comes that reason for shutting that window. This scared the dickens out of me. I thought the thing was going to flip over backwards, but I gave it another shot, and I had some confidence, and I still went up high. Those wheels are up about 2 feet off the ground. Notice as I'm going through this, yeah, you're hearing some cracking, but watch that brush just pop right back up after that Sherp goes over. Incredible. Well, we eventually did stop Sherping and found another spot to do a little bit of ice fishing. Again, a fairly decent place in the spring, but, well, we didn't really get anything this particular time. Water around that area is probably 5 to 10 feet.
So we made it to spot number 2. This spot's a little bit more focused on walleyes. We'll see if we can see anything. We got a couple of sleds that are out. Trails are not open yet, but people are out on the flowage. So we got a flag. Looks like he actually might be feeling something. Not 100% sure. We will see. Nothing. Was there anything there?
We eventually made it back to the cabin. What an absolutely beautiful, beautiful shot. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's early morning, about 6 o'clock in the morning. I am out in the Sherp. I've had the Wabasco heater running for about a half hour. Again, I've been chatting about the batteries kind of going bad. So one of the little tricks that I did is I just bought a cord off of Amazon so I could plug in my battery charger directly up into the cigarette lighter, which makes life a hell of a lot easier because I don't have to take the seat off, take the panel off, and everything else to connect it to the batteries. So that is very, very cool. And then I just leave the battery charger on all night, and it works out fantastic. So I'm going to go back in, let the thing warm up here a little bit, and we'll go from there. Well, that's all I got for this video. We discovered the Sherp works fantastic for ice fishing. We had an absolutely great time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Throw a like out there and comment if you did also. Take care, everyone.